All right, I will reconvene us. And thank you all for me, a very good morning. We did a lot of work, and Rebecca, Logan, and Addie, thank you so much for all your work on that report. It's going to be a good document. Please, Rebecca, when you guys get it into a final version, please share it with the commission again. I know we're targeting Friday morning for publication or distribution. We could look at it one more time, and maybe Murray will have a comma placement. All right, let us get back on our agenda, please. And we are now on item 5, Executive Director's Report.
Cindy, before we get to the Executive Director's Report, I think we probably need a motion to adopt the annual report with the suggestion or the amendments that were made. But I will send it out tomorrow with the changes. I don't think we will have any issues if somebody catches a typo, or as long as it's not substantive, they can provide me with that information.
If there's a substantive edit, we'll probably have to call a special meeting. But
for typos,
for
no.
typos, no. We'll do
Okay.
it for
All right. So could we have a motion, please, to accept the amended or edited version of the annual report for the North Dakota Ethics Commission?
So move. Support.
Read the roll.
Commissioner Saxby,
Aye.
Commissioner Goodman,
Aye.
Commissioner Kozer,
Aye.
Chair Lindquist.
Aye. Hey, we have an annual report.
We do. Okay. So moving on to my executive director's report, Cindy. Are we
Yes.
good?
Yep.
All right. Okay, so I get to hand it over to Addie's first rundown of our budget today. We have a few things that we do want to kind of let the commission know, but with the full agenda, we'll touch on those next month. So I'll have Addie pull up the budget and walk you guys through our first month of the new biennium.
So this is the start of the new biennium. So the appropriation for the 25-27 biennium is at $1,368,016. Expenditures for July 25 was $38,706.63. Leaving the remaining appropriation for the biennium at $1,329,309. And then there is an estimated ending balance for the 25-27 biennium at $42,602. And that'll fluctuate. And that's all I have for now.
So I have a question. If there's one of the issues that I've been concerned about in the past year is that I watch hearings and listen to hearings, and I try to get a transcript of those hearings. And some of the transcripts, the AI generated transcripts, are difficult, if not impossible, to understand because. And would we have money in the budget to subscribe to a transcription service so that certain hearings could be transcribed professionally? How much would that cost?
Murray, that is a great question. So there is a state contract for transcription services. It is, some of them are time-based, some of them are flat fees. We would need to reach out to the individuals who hold the state contracts and get more information. But that is something that Logan and I and Addie, I think, would use that as well. We use AI transcriptions for things. And it would certainly it would save us a lot of time. So in order to do that, we would need to contact the individuals with the state contract. I did look, there are individuals. I have not had time to reach out to them and get an estimate because it's based on the number of users, the amount of transcriptions we think we will be doing per month, and then it's a subscription-based service. Most of them are that way. Some of them could be set up differently. That was the ones I looked at.
For example, I did the hearing on the travel disclosure rule, and Governor Armstrong was there. I would like to have a very good transcript of what he said because he had made a number of very useful comments. And so I've gone back and I tried to do it stop, start. And I'd like to have just a transcript, for example. So could we discuss that at the next meeting?
We can have numbers at the next meeting and then see how they fall into our budget.
Thank you.
Yeah, good suggestion. And could they also be considered to be used for minute taking? Or no?
So I think we could utilize them and they would be able to create a transcript of the meeting. How we already do minutes, I think that our operations individuals heavily rely on the AI transcription or the transcript. I guess, Addie, what do you think?
I haven't been using it.
Okay.
I've just been listening, but I'm sure if it made it a lot easier to do the minutes, I think that would be helpful.
Okay.
To use.
Okay. Any other questions regarding budget? And great beginning, Addie. You've got a handle on this.
Thank you.
Okay, want to continue, Rebecca?
Yeah. So moving on to the next item on the executive director's report is the filings and case management report. And so this is a little bit of a different view than what we have done in the past. So just probably within the last year, we started sharing filing information, what's come into the commission, what has been going on, kind of an operational overview specific more to complaints. It's not in the commissioner folder. I'll put it in there last night. Shoot. Let me see if I can. So what we did instead for this time, instead of just including it in the memo and talking about it with commissioners, we actually created a report. Please forgive the non-prettiness of this report. I feel like it could look nicer, but this is the first one, so we tried something to see what the commissioners thought about having this. This is something that we can then provide to the public on a monthly basis. Particularly, this will become more important during busy times, pre-legislative session and during legislative session. So I'm going to have Addie just bring it up so that we can walk through it.
I have a question.
Yes, Ron.
Is non-prettiness a word?
I don't think so, but I made it a word. It could just look better. It could look better than what it is. It's not branded. It doesn't have it doesn't have the state colors, but it's pretty stark. We will modify this and make it better looking next month. But as far as what we have this month, this now becomes kind of a monthly case management report for the commission. It shows us when this is for, so we always do this a month prior. We don't do it the month of the meeting, so this reflects back on July data. The July filings, you can see, this is a chart demonstrating we did not receive any complaints in the month of July. We did receive 2 quasi-judicial forms. We did not receive any conflict of interest forms, and we received 8 meeting notices. Now, I will say, if we were to pull up our actual meeting notices, there's going to be hundreds and hundreds, but that was because in the month of July, we got botted and a bunch of bots filed forms. But these are the actual meeting notices that had substance and were filed by real individuals. NDIT has since taken care of that issue, by the way. That is remedied. So the other thing on this report, if you go down, these are the two things that we track. The complaint activity in the month of July, the commission dismissed 2 complaints. We did not settle any complaints. The reason is because we notified everybody of the settlement guidelines. So now that settled complaints number will become important as we address the pending complaints. So there is 41 pending complaints as of today. As of July 30th. And that pending complaints number you'll see go down as we settle complaints or dismiss complaints. So the average days until, this is something that you look at like a job site. This reminded me of a construction site, and we can change this if the commission wants. I'm open to it, but I just kind of took a shot at what information the public would like to know. And you know how when you go on a construction site and it has the number of days posted that you haven't had an accident, that somebody has had to miss work? And so I kind of likened it to that. This is the average days until through July of 2025. Summary dismissal, as we already talked about, is 91 days. Informal resolution, if we can reach informal resolution, the average days is 98. And an unethical finding is 752. And obviously that number is very high based on, the unethical finding. I don't know if we want to use the term unethical. I was trying to fit it in the box. I don't know if we want to call it ethical finding, ethical violation, whatever language we want to use. I'm open to discussion. But this is kind of just a general overview of how we can communicate that information instead of just including it in the commissioner's memo and in their materials. Any comments, questions, feedback on this? It's the first time we've done it. The first time I've done it. I already don't like the word unethical finding. I know that. Investigation finding, maybe?
I think that's a better word.
Yeah.
Fine.
Or just a finding?
What's the data that you're capturing there? Is it anything that has gone through the entire process?
Yes.
It's not everything will have.
No, just when there's a finding.
So
So anything that has been, there will be another box on this for closed without ethical finding.
I think that, yeah, there's 2 sets of data there.
There's 2 sets of data. Yep. So far there's only the one, but then there will be the second one.
Any other comments? Yeah, I'm not so sure I like that last box at all.
Okay.
And mainly because what the heck, 752 days, what happened? And what are these people doing in that? Because there's This, you're just giving data or information and there's no context, and that's,
Yeah, and
you know,
it is
essentially it's the
misleading.
one case, but the one case was 8 complaints, you know, and all its complexities in that. Yeah, so I don't know.
It is a little misleading. Well, we talked about that in the, you know,
Yeah.
in the body of the
The report.
material.
Yeah.
So I mean, it can, so Cindy and Ron, as there are additional findings, right? That happen, that number will likely become much smaller. But that is data. You know, there's always reasons and rationale behind data. So that is one of the things that we could get rid of that average days. I just thought it would give us kind of an idea of, are we getting summary dismissals done in a timely manner? Is that number going up and up every month? Or is it staying about where it should be? And same with informal resolutions. So I think maybe that's something we could take out now. We could put it back in when we have more data that's better representative of the commission's work. But keeping it in mind at the same time.
But when you're talking about summary dismissals, you're talking, shouldn't you break it down as to summary dismissals for no lack of jurisdiction?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you get those.
20, those are the 23 days. Yep.
And then there are the summary dismissals after you have to do some review. If you deal with them separately, that tells a different story.
It does. We could add that as well.
I think it should be, because we want to keep the summary dismissals for lack of jurisdiction at a very low number. Well, we ought to keep all of them at a, but there's an additional level of work that requires for the second category,
Mm-hmm.
and that's a separate story.
Yep, I can do that.
Yeah, so maybe we should, that average days until section, maybe leave that off for now while we work on refining it and considering how many boxes and all that, having the right data. And then on the other one, on that complaint activity, I think we need to say to date, because that's not, because it's a monthly report on the top, but down here, this is not a monthly thing.
So
Right?
Cindy, yeah, we could do, I could explain that a little better. So what that data is how many complaints were dismissed in the month of July? That is 2. There were 2 complaints that were dismissed. How many cases, or how many complaints, excuse me, were settled in the month of July? There
Yeah.
were none settled. How many were pending during the month of July? That is 41. There are 41 pending complaints.
Yeah, and that's total.
Yes.
Okay,
It doesn't
'cause
mean
that's
they
the
can't-
other thing too, is it's like, are we clumping a month to month and not, yeah, so, yeah, I think just better wording, or more wording to explain it better.
Are you talking just on the pending? The other 2, are those okay? Or
I
all of
think-
them?
Well, I think the way you just explained them, Rebecca, sounded good. Yeah, and maybe so the first 2 are for the month of July, or during the month of July, and the pending one is cumulative.
Okay, Cindy, got it.
Okay, any other comments? Okay. Keep going then, Rebecca.
Moving on, education and outreach update. Although education and outreach has not been at the forefront of what we have been working on, the last few months, just because of our limited resources. I did want to let the commission know about two educational and outreach things that we are doing. One, tonight, the Grandmas for Democracy have asked us to provide kind of an update on what the commission is doing, what work we are doing. They are going to talk about the history of getting the initiated measure on the ballot, and then they've asked that we talk about our current processes and operations. And so General Counsel Carpenter and I will be doing that tonight. I do believe that Commissioner Soxby will be attending as well. And so that will be it's open to the public. And so that will be a good opportunity for information to get out to the public. The other thing I wanted to just let the commission know is that we are sketching out a fall educational series or opportunity. And the reason for this is because there have been, or there will be, amendments to the complaint process. And when we push out changes to a process like this, we need to make sure that that information is being communicated to the public and to the regulated community. So there are going to be opportunities for everybody, members of the public, members of the regulated community, as well as other stakeholders, to learn about what those changes are in the month. Probably we're going to look at October to be doing that, just so they can know what is going to happen and from their perspective, what they need to know. So those are our two educational things. The educational opportunities in the fall are going to consist of likely some sort of presentation, as well as supplemental materials that people can utilize and go to get quick information. Any questions on that? A human resources update, just to let the commission know, I'm actually going to talk about contract attorneys. The commission has engaged or has retained, I guess you could say, one additional SAG. Pat Munson did retire at the end of June, so we can no longer use her as a SAG. So we have one attorney that we have engaged on a contract basis, and that attorney is going to be assigned to one complaint. We are also awaiting an engagement letter from another attorney that we are going to be using on a contract basis as well. We need to then enter into that engagement letter, or have that engagement letter signed, and then the attorney still needs to be appointed as a SAG. That does take approximately 30 days to get done. Sometimes it can be a little bit longer, but they have certain requirements that they need to make sure are in place. And so we work with the Office of the Attorney General to take care of that. The other thing I wanted to let them know, at the last meeting, we had a brief discussion about the possibility of having temporary employees as attorneys to help out with those pending cases. We have been making significant headway on pending complaints, but there is still a lot of attorney work that has to happen on complaints. And so what we are doing is, I have reached out with HRMS, with Jill. We are still drafting a job description, and we are hoping to get that posted in September to have the possibility of a temporary employee as an attorney to help Logan out with. Logan is a great attorney, and he's very capable, but he can't work 24 hours a day. So in order to get through those complaints, we need to do that. So even though we have contract attorneys, we are still going to be needing additional help. And so we are going to pursue that temporary employee option. The other thing I wanted to let the commission know is that I will be traveling to the law school up at UND on September 8th to meet with the law students about internships. We're going to be doing this well in advance of posting our internships. We will have internship opportunities available for next summer, so the summer of 2026. We talked about potentially then, after we have interns and potentially being able to have 2 of them to do legal work, having them then stay on after the summer and do legal research for us while they are up at the law school. So they would be working remotely, checking in with Logan on a regular basis, but not having them necessarily do confidential work, but have them doing legal research that we need to get done. Obviously supervised by Logan during that process. So just to let the commission know where we are, I actually think it's really good timing to go up on the 8th of September because the following week, the commission is going to be up there for its meeting. So I will be able to promote that and talk to the students about coming and learning about the commission through that means as well. Any other question on HR stuff?
What would be the problem with them working on confidential work?
Ron, it's not necessarily a problem. We just have concerns with, when we work on confidential information or have complaint work up in our office, there isn't a lot of people that walk through our office, but we need to ensure that we have protocols in place to make sure that that information isn't going out, that they're not sitting in the middle of the law library working on a complaint and having documents out for other individuals to see. So we do have that concern. However, that's why our idea was if we have them here over the summer and they well understand the confidential nature and what they need to do, then perhaps we can have them working up at UND.
Okay, I understand.
So the discussion of the audit, we have begun working with the auditor's office on the performance audit for the commission. The last time this was done was actually prior to the last audit period prior to 2021. And so this is a 4-year audit period for July 1st of 2021 through June 30th of 2025. Addie will be our point person on this. She's already started providing documentation to the auditor, to the auditor's office so they can get started. They were hoping to have this started in mid-July, having the audit started in mid-July, but with Addie coming on board at the beginning of August, we then pushed it off and waited to get her on board in order to provide information. So we anticipate wrapping up the audit in several weeks. I anticipate toward the end of September, beginning of October.
I'm sure they're careful with.
Any questions, comments? I believe it's almost the last thing on my report is the multi-factor authentication. So earlier this morning, I sent an email to the commissioners explaining this new thing we're going to do on September 3rd. You will be getting additional information from me, but on September 3rd, the multi-factor authentication will go in place for VPN. So when commissioners and staff access secure files, for instance, SharePoint, they should be connected through the VPN with the state. So on September 3rd, we are going to transition from a single factor authentication where all you need to do is enter your username and password to a multi-factor authentication where you will then be sent a code, an email, or receive a phone call in order to establish that VPN connection. This is going to be facilitated by NDIT staff. They have been doing this with a few other agencies, and they did say that it has gone smoothly. So you were supposed to receive an email from me yesterday, but I am having significant email problems, and I only got it out this morning. But it has some introductory information about the transition. You will be prompted when you open your computer on September 3rd and use VPN, you will be prompted to walk through the process of establishing that multi-factor authentication. The reason we did it on on September 3rd is that if there are any issues We will all be in person on September 17th, and we can help you work through those IT issues that come up. Any
But-
comments on that?
But we should try to do it on September 3rd
Yes.
to the
Yes,
best
you
of our
should.
ability. Okay.
If we're stumped, as I could easily be stumped, would we not be able then to access any emails till we meet in Grand Forks?
It's not email.
No, it's not email, or
Okay.
you should be able to access your email without VPN. So that will be just
Okay.
fine. You'll be able to access some things. If you do have problems on September 3rd when you log in, go ahead and give us a call here at the office and we'll help you work through it or direct you to, there is a point person at NDIT who we will be working with.
Okay.
My last item on my executive director report is just a reminder that Kogel is approaching. Although I would really like to not think that December is coming up so quickly, it is. Kogel is December 7th through the 10th in Atlanta, Georgia. We have paid for and secured 4 registrations. The reason that we did that so early, we did it very early this time, is because in order to get rooms at the group rate, you had to be registered for the conference. So you had to register for the conference and then you were allowed to book rooms. Last year, we ran into significant issues getting Murray a room in LA. So we did not want to have those issues again. I think you had to commute back and forth to the conference hotel.
Only walked a mile.
Okay, not too bad.
Okay.
But there also is maybe some networking that you lose out on because you have to do that potentially. Maybe not, but anyway, so what we did is we made sure that we got rooms booked, and those 4 registrations, we can shift those to whoever decides to go. And so we just need to know.
I would like to attend as an alternative with priority to those who haven't gone before.
And I mentioned to Rebecca that I'll probably want to go as your chair. It's a good, and it's a good conference. It's a really good forum. And
Well-
but I'm also like, well, maybe if we get a new commissioner on, maybe that person should go too. So, or should be the one attending, but who knows?
That's what I was thinking. We're actually looking at 2 new, possibly 2 new commissioners.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. So we'll kind of play it by ear, but yeah, I'm saying, yeah, I'll maybe be one, but let's see how the vetting process goes and if we get 2 new colleagues.
So in that same vein, if we do need to add typically we budget for 2 to 3 people to attend, but because of the turnover and because we do think we have a few extra funds available, we could also, Cindy, add a registration or 2 if we need to.
Okay.
I think it would be worth it.
Yeah. Good to know. Good to know.
would we ever consider, well, has Logan been there?
I went 2 years ago.
Okay.
Go for it.
Would we ever consider sending Addie? Or as a okay,
Ron, I think that would be a potential good idea.
I was last there in 2019, so I probably don't want to attend, but if it comes to nobody else attending, I would consider it.
Okay. It's good to know. All right. We're done with Kogel update.
Yes.
So that concludes the executive director's report, and we'll move on the agenda to ongoing business. And you want to start on that, Rebecca, with the what? The brief on proposed travel disclosure rules.
I think on that one, Murray's indicating to me he'll take it.
So I conducted the hearing in July, and that's part of the reason I wanted the transcript. Governor Armstrong was there in person. The Attorney General submitted written testimony. One legislator presented online, and there were 3 written submissions through the website. So I would like to, as the hearing person who conducted the hearing, assemble all of that, provide a report, and I would like to have that available for the September. I would try to have that available for the September meeting. Now, at the September meeting, it's kind of an awkward time because there will either be 2 or 3 new commissioners or 2 or 3 that will be leaving. And so I'm not sure that September will be a good time to adopt a very important rule. But I will try to have a report and recommendation for by September. Is that okay for everybody?
Sounds good. I don't see or hear any other comments.
Unless somebody else wants to do it.
I was going to say, I hope there's only 2 new commissioners. Murray, we need you to stay on. I hope.
Oh, I skipped that. Cindy, are we good to move on to proposed complaint rule amendments?
Yep.
Quick update there, the rules hearing is set for September 9th at 9:30 in the commission's conference room and on Teams. I don't believe we've received any comments yet through the website, but we will have that hearing here coming up in a few short weeks, couple weeks.
So on that hearing, Cindy, maybe I can have this discussion now. So what we have done in the past for hearings is we have had a commissioner or the executive director serve as the hearing officer. And I believe that Murray would like to be providing information that day. Is it called testify? Commenting on the rule? And provide information through that process. So I am wondering if one or more, or as many as would be available, is able to come to Bismarck on September 9th to participate in the rules hearing and potentially serve as the hearing officer. If nobody is available, I can certainly do it, but since Murray had done it before, he is the commissioner in Bismarck. He's our de facto Bismarck commissioner who can serve in that role, but will be commenting that day, so he will not be able to serve as the hearing officer.
Yeah. So Ron or Ward, would you make that consideration? Because I can't be in Bismarck that day. Ron, you're
Yeah.
on mute. And Ward.
Yeah, I know I'm on mute. Let me check my calendar. Hold on.
And Ward, would you be interested at all in being in Bismarck and either being the officer or participating as a commissioner?
Well, I would prefer not. I had actually hoped to be replaced by that time, but I'm not sure that that's going to happen.
Oh, you're optimistic. Yay. Well, no, not yay. We don't want you to leave.
Oh, yeah. We'll see what Ron says here.
Okay.
Yes, I can do it. I have another meeting, but I don't have to be there, so isn't that something this group always seems to have other meetings. That must mean
Yeah.
we're busy people. People want our participation, but I could do it.
Okay. So one other consideration is that we could have commissioners appearing online. We could even do, I think it would be best to have a hearing officer here, but we could do it online if we needed to do that, facilitated through Teams.
No, I could do it.
Okay.
Yay. Thank you, Ron.
You're welcome.
But Ward, I'm sure if you're still a commissioner and if you'd like to participate, just let Rebecca know.
Okay.
Okay. Can we move on? Anything else for that section, Rebecca?
No, nothing more for that one.
Okay.
So the other two ongoing business items are items that were discussed at length during the May meeting. There were motions either to direct staff to, for instance, or for the first one, come up with a process to investigate information that the commission receives that comes to it that is potentially an ethical concern, but that is not necessarily filed as a complaint. And so the commission did request that we draft something for their review. I'm asking that the commission take notice that this is an open item. We have not addressed this, but I'm asking that the commission table it until our council can complete the memo in the next item, which was also the subject of a motion at the May meeting that Chair Anderson made at the May meeting. So these two items are linked. The next item is a memorandum regarding the commission's constitutional duties and authority, the impact of Senate Bill 2004 on our internal processes, and an evaluation of potential actions by the commission regarding those two things. So in May, then Chair Anderson, Dave, he requested that we complete the above memo and really kind of use it as a basis for then going forward with a discussion of various other things. General Counsel, Logan has, I'm going to call it mentally started on this memo, but unfortunately we've had to prioritize other work since May, namely a number of advisory opinions, significant complaint work that has gotten done, and this has fallen down on we have allowed it to go down on our priority list. This is an open item that we do need to get to. And he's hoping to get to this memorandum to complete it in September and October. Once that is done, the commission then needs to revisit the discussion of a proposed rule regarding investigating relevant information that is received. So just to follow up with the commission on those two things, we know they are open. They are things that are not priorities or have not been prioritized to date. Anything else on those?
So I'm the one that made the motion concerning that paragraph C in May. And I'm comfortable with postponing that until after Logan has mentally downloaded from his mind to paper. So do you want a informal, I'm comfortable with that, or do you want a motion to table?
I don't think we need anything formally. I think it can be informal.
I'm comfortable with that.
I think I'm okay with it and fine.
But would you
We-
keep it ongoing business? Yes.
So we're okay to move on?
I believe so, Cindy.
Okay, so we're up to item 7 on the agenda, update and process for appointment of commissioners.
Yeah, somewhat what Ward was referring to, that he may not be on the commission on September 9th. I think that might be a bit ambitious. So you can see in the memo, there were 39 individuals who applied to serve on the commission. The governor, Senate Majority Leader, and Senate Minority Leader met on August 15th to discuss the appointment process. What process were they going to follow? During that meeting, the selection committee, who is the governor and the majority leaders of the Senate, decided to send questions out to applicants. I believe there is 7 questions, maybe 8 questions. Murray has received those questions. He can maybe talk further if he would like to, or maybe not. Questions were emailed out on August 22nd. And as the governor's office shared with me, the deadline is September 2nd. So after September 2nd, then the group will reconvene and review the questions and see who they want to interview from there. This is also a good time to remind the commissioners that you're on the commission until you're off the commission, until you have been filled, your position has been filled. So Murray and Ward will stay with us until.
Okay,
I received the 8 questions and I'm in the process of answering the 8 questions. Some of them lend themselves to a rather brief response. Some of them lend themselves to a quite detailed response. And so they may get more than they wanted from me, but I'm going to just try to answer the question as best I can, based on 1 year of experience.
okay. No further comments, so let's keep moving, please. So we're on item 8, update on policies and procedures.
So we have 2 policies that I'm going to say it has in here that I'm requesting the commission consider. Murray was the one who brought that. I copy and paste that language for all of our policies, but really it was Commissioner Saxby who is asking the commission to consider the adoption of a case management reporting policy. Commissioner Saxby and I did talk about the policy, and I think it is a very good idea. So I don't know if it can be supported by, I'm in support of doing this. So that way we are providing more information to the public. So I'll let Commissioner Saxby talk about it.
So I've been thinking about this for a while, particularly since the legislature had this 180-day in the bill in Senate Bill 2004. But the rule that is under consideration and will have a hearing on September 7th as a provision for time management. What's the official? The
I think that's it, Murray.
yeah, time management. The law required the commission to adopt a time management rule. That rule has not been adopted and will take a while to be adopted. So meanwhile, I'm requesting that the commission adopt a policy that says the executive director shall report on the status of each complaint that has been pending for more than 180 days at the regular commission meetings in March, June, September, and December. So if any complaint is pending for more than 6 months, it will automatically be on the agenda for discussion by the commission to talk about the progress. So I'm moving that that the commission adopt that policy.
We have a
I'll
motion
second. I'll
and a
second.
second. Further discussion? Hearing none, want to call the roll, please?
Commissioner Snyder,
I
Commissioner Luder,
Aye.
Commissioner Goodman,
Aye.
and Chair Lindquist.
Aye.
She's asking me first because she can see that I'm sitting closest to it.
I answered for Ward.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think I got called there, but I couldn't hear her. I vote aye anyway.
All right, motion carries. Thank you.
With
Okay.
that policy. Yeah, you want to take it right.
I better. Or the policy number 8, maybe you should explain the background.
Of the amendment. So the next one is an amendment to the commissioner terms policy. So we already have a policy regarding commissioner terms, how long you serve, if you are a chair, how that works. But in late 2024, we amended our internal code of ethics. And one of the sections that was removed at that time was what I just talked about, which is you're a commissioner until you're not a commissioner. Meaning that once you are a member of the commission, you remain on the commission until you are replaced. That was previously in our internal code of ethics. That was a very funny place to have that. I think it was put in the internal code of ethics because that was done very shortly after the commission was formed. There was no policies and procedures at that time. And so when we amended or changed the internal code of ethics, we took that out because it really was not placed very well. It shouldn't have been there. And what we forgot to do is put it back into the policies and procedures as we had planned on. So at this time, we are requesting that we include attachment 8, which is the draft amendment to the commissioner terms policy, which basically says that you are a commissioner and you stay on the commission until you are replaced.
So I would like to move a policy that says commissioners should make every effort to provide advance notice of intent to seek reappointment to the governor, Senate Majority Leader, and Senate Minority Leader. And B, each commissioner's term shall continue until a successor is duly appointed by the governor, the Senate Majority Leader, and the Senate Minority Leader. And that is so that there shouldn't be any question whether we are validly acting until a successor is named. So I move that policy.
All right, we have a motion on the floor. Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Word seconds. Further questions, comments? Hearing none, call the roll, please.
Commissioner Snyder,
Aye. I,
Commissioner Kozer,
Aye.
Commissioner Goodman,
Aye.
Chair Lindquist,
Aye. All right.
Cindy.
Do we need another break or can we keep going? My preference is we keep going, so
Yeah, we just have executive session left, pretty much. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
fine with me.
okay. Now is the time for me to read this, right? The next item on the agenda is complaint numbers 23-011, 23-013, 23-014, 24-008, 24-011, 24-014, 24-031, 24-041, 25-021, 25-022, 25-038, 25-039, 25-043, 25-044, 25-045, 25-046, and 25-072. Hereinafter referred to as the complaints. This item must be discussed in executive session. The legal authority for closing this portion of the meeting is North Dakota Century Code sections 54-66-12, subsection 1, 54-66-12, subsection 3, and 44-04-19.2, subsection 1. The topic or purpose of this executive session is to discuss on the complaints. Information regarding the contact and parties to the Ethics Commission complaint is confidential. As a complaint must be discussed in an executive session, no motion is needed to enter into executive session. The exec session shall be recorded and all members of the governing body are reminded to limit their discussion during the session to the announced topic. Any collective decision, collective commitment, or any other final action by the governing body must occur after it reconvenes in an open meeting. The prohibition on taking final action during executive session does not apply to providing guidance or instructions to our attorney. We will now ask members of the public who are attending the meeting to leave this meeting. We anticipate adjourning the executive session and reconvening in the open portion of the meeting at approximately
1:10.
1:10 p.m. The minutes will show that the executive session began at 12:31 p.m. and was attended by Commissioner Kozer, Commissioner Goodman, Commissioner Sagsbeen, Commissioner Lindquist, and staff Rebecca Binstock, Logan Carpenter, and Addie Moose.
Should I warm up pizza for you?
Once in exec session, we will take roll. Oh, I guess I don't need to read that. We will now enter into executive session and hopefully reconvene maybe earlier than 1:10, but probably not. All right. We are back and open our regular session of the meeting of the North Dakota Ethics Commission. Or was there legal language I'm supposed to read, Logan?
I think you just know when we concluded the executive session.
We concluded executive session at approximately 1:20 p.m. And public is invited back to return and we are back in open session.
There you go.
I would make a motion to close complaint number 24-011 as recommended in the preliminary report and recommendation.
We have a second? Ron, you're on mute.
I'll second, or is this one that Mary's supposed to second? No,
No,
he's got his own.
It's you.
Yeah.
All right, call the roll, please.
Commissioner Saxby,
Aye.
Commissioner Kozer,
aye.
Commissioner Goodman,
Aye.
Chair Lindquist,
Aye. Motion carries. Thank you. Further business.
I move to direct staff to act on these complaints as discussed in executive session. Complaints 24-31, 25-21, 25-22, 25-38, 25-39, 25-43, 25-44, 25-45, and 25-46.
I'll second the motion.
All right, since it was already discussed, read the roll, please.
Commissioner Saxby,
Aye.
Commissioner Kozer,
Aye.
Commissioner Goodman,
Ron, you're on mute.
Aye.
and Chair Lindquist.
Aye. All right, we are at the bottom of our agenda. Further business?
I have just two notes that I want to make for the commission. One is logistics for September 17th. September 17th, the commission is holding its meeting for September in person in Grand Forks at the law school. The meeting is set to start in the afternoon between 1 and 1:30. We have to finalize that time. The reason that we are doing it in the afternoon is because it is Constitution Day, and the law school, as well as UND as a whole, is celebrating that day and commemorating that day in a few different ways. Earlier that day at 11 o'clock, there will be a naturalization ceremony taking place at the Memorial Union, so right beside the law school. The law school has invited us to attend that ceremony. There will also be an art exhibit on immigration and particular focusing or highlighting some immigrants who have done work in North Dakota, I believe, and Minnesota. So there will be kind of a conjunctive thing happening with the Ethics Commission being up at the law school. After the commission's meeting concludes in the afternoon, there will be a question and answer session with law students that they can answer or ask questions of the four of you, or potentially if there's I guess a new commissioner for that commissioner as well. But as far as logistics for the day, you will get an email with with the schedule and where you need to be at what time. You certainly don't need to attend the naturalization ceremony, but it is a pretty inspiring event to witness. So I would encourage that as somebody who was in the federal court for many, many years. But what my question is to the commission today is, we have hotel reservations for the night of the 16th so that you can drive and be there, so you're not getting up at the crack of dawn or before then even to drive to Grand Forks, but for Cindy. You know, Cindy will have the shortest drive out of everybody. But what I didn't consider is whether you need a hotel room for that evening, because we won't be wrapping up until, 4:30, potentially even 5:30 in the evening. And, I'm thinking particularly for Ward, that is a long drive back to Williston. So if you would like us to extend your hotel stay to that second night, let us know. You can either do that now or you can reach out to Addie later, but the sooner the better, because it is homecoming week at UND. So I would like to make sure we have those reservations set.
I'm gonna say, make one for me. I may cancel later.
Okay,
And also make one for me for the 8th.
okay. For the 7th,
In Bismarck.
or no, for the 8th, sorry.
The
yes.
8th in Bismarck, yeah.
In Bismarck, we'll get you, Ron.
Okay.
Concerning the naturalization hearing, I've exchanged email with U.S. Magistrate Judge Alice Seneschal, and she is thrilled that members of the Ethics Commission are planning to attend the naturalization hearing.
Bring Kleenexes.
Okay. I would say I will not need a room for the night afterwards. I've got a meeting. I need to be back in Williston the next morning, so I'm gonna just have to drive late.
Okay,
I
And
will,
as far as,
I'll need one for the 16th.
as far as Kleenexes are concerned, I just use my tie.
Okay.
okay.
Okay. Anything
I have
else?
One other one, Cindy, sorry to hold you guys on. We have a little bit of a lag in getting our minutes up to date. That was not something that Alicia, while we were bringing Addie on board, that is not something that we asked Alicia to stay up on. But now that we have Addie, she is catching up on those. So Chair Lindquist has asked that we provide those to the commission as they are done, so that you don't have to, before the September meeting, read 4 sets of minutes within a very short amount of time. So we will be sending those out to the commissioners as Addie works on them and gets them done. So watch out for those. You will get them, and we're going to try and do them chronologically, so your brain can process chronologically too.
And they'll be sent out via email
Yep.
as a Word doc, as a draft Word doc. So, okay. All right. Anything else? Was a good meeting, long meeting, but good.
Thank you, folks.
Yes, thank you all.
Yeah,
Good
thanks,
work.
everybody.
Watch your emails. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thanks, guys.